Hello, my name is Franklyn and I'm a master's student at University College London and Yale. Now, a very common student problem is getting out of class or the library late at night, and the only place you could get any food is the convenience store. And convenience stores often have some pretty limited selections in terms of fresh and healthy ingredients. So today I'm going to show you a healthy French toast meal that you can make using ingredients you can find at any convenience store. Now for French toast, you start with bread. Very simple. I'll show you how to make one slice of bread, but you might want two for a full meal. Now white bread is fine, but you might be able to find whole grain bread or whole wheat bread, whatever you can get at the convenience store. The really good thing about French toast is that even if the bread isn't super fresh, which is often the case for convenience stores, it'll still work for the recipe because we're toasting it, so it'll be nice and soft by the end. Now what you do for French toast is you dip bread in a mixture of egg and milk, and then you toast it, and it's really flavorful. So I have my liquid mixture here, and all I did was crack one egg, whip it up. You can just use a fork. It'll be liquid in just a minute. And then I decided to add a 1/4 cup of milk. This is optional. You could just beat up the egg, but I find milk adds some calcium and some extra protein. Now, if you want a little more flavor and you have it on hand, you can add 1/2 a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, if you don't have these ingredients or you can't find them at the convenience store, that's fine because we're going to add a fruit and nut topping afterwards, so we'll still have a really flavorful dish. Another option is to look for more flavorful breads at the convenience store, like cinnamon bread or even cinnamon raisin bread, or some breads that are made with a lot of grains, seeds, and some extra spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. So you have lots of options for adding flavor to the dish. Your next step is to pour a little bit of your liquid mixture on a plate. And this is because we want to dip the bread into the liquid mixture, even let it soak up a little bit of the liquid, and make sure you get both sides so it's coated in the liquid. And then you place the bread onto a pan over medium heat on the stove top. And all it needs is about 2 minutes on each side, so you flip it halfway through, 4 minutes total, and at the end you're going to get this. It's lightly browned toast, both sides, and it's crispy on the outside, but really soft and gooey and warm on the inside. So this is your French toast, really easy and quick. Now we also want to make a topping for the French toast. So we're going to make a fruit and nut topping. If you can find fresh fruit at your convenience store, great. I would recommend using 1/2 an apple. Slice it really thinly because we're going to cook it on the stove just in a pan, and it'll just cook a little bit, get kind of hot. But if you can't find fresh fruit, then a really good option is to use applesauce, which you can find at any convenience store. Sometimes you might find these little fruit cups, which is a mixture of fruits and a sauce, and that's a really good option as well. So you could use one of these or 1/2 a cup of applesauce. And you would just add this into a pan over medium heat on the stove top, and also add in a couple tablespoons of dried fruit and nuts. Now often you can find this in a trail mix at the convenience store or sold separately, like some raisins and walnuts, which is what I chose to use. And just a couple tablespoons, you would also add that into the pan. And these are just gonna cook and heat up for 2 minutes. That's all you really need. And at the end, you're left with a fruit and nut topping for your French toast, which you can add on top, a much healthier option than the traditional maple syrup. Now this is a really good meal as opposed to some of the other meals that might be sold at the convenience store, so maybe like instant noodles, instant rice. Those have grains in them, but they don't have protein and fruit and nuts and dairy like we've added today. The other issue with some of those instant meals is that they have a lot of added salt and sugar, whereas with our meal today, we know what we put into it. So if you're stuck at the convenience store, look for ingredients that you think are healthy, put them together into a delicious dish like this one.